dropping shit at the pilot. Niggas be broken, be sobbing, but still talking shit like they violent. Niggas is broke.
So the playoffs are finally here, and with the playoffs come a change in the game of basketball. In the regular season, you can get away with a player bailing you out, and if he fails, it's all good. It's just one game out of 82. But now, every game counts. Every play counts. Every possession counts. Teams will game plan for each other, and when the team you play will always be an elite team from now on, the chances of that one player bailing you out decreases due to the defensive scheme set up by the other teams. So in short, the one-man shows are over. It's the better team that wins from here on out. And for some teams, they need their players to step up for them to get where they need to be. Here are the top 5 players that simply need to step up in the playoffs in no particular order. Al Horford. Mr. Al Horford, Mr. $100 million man, was the Celtics' biggest acquisition this offseason. And he was the main reason people thought the Celtics were going to be near the top of the Eastern Conference this year. While some had way too high expectations for this man has delivered in ways that aren't really shown on the scoreboard. Number one, he is still Boston's best big man, and the offense simply just flows better when he's on the court than when he's not. Nope, he's not a 20 and 10 guy, but what he does offer is continuity and a direction on offense. But again, as mentioned, the playoffs are a different animal. Flow doesn't matter as much as execution and simply putting the ball in the hoop. And for the past 2 weeks, it seems as if Isaiah Thomas is the only one who can do that. Every other bucket seems like it's just luck or just pure hustle points. The Celtics and Isaiah do not have a secondary scorer that can take off the load from IT. And for the Celtics to go as deep as they want, they simply cannot rely on a 5'9" point guard that teams can double team or put an athletic defender on. That is where Al Horford comes in. I have seen Al Horford play, and I know he definitely has the skills to average 18 to 20 points a game in the playoffs. The problem is, he's just not aggressive enough, and he just simply has to be for this team to not just go deep in the playoffs, but to get out of the first round. Victor Oladipo. It's no surprise that Oklahoma City is a one-man team that revolves around Russell Westbrook. He has to do everything, as seen by him averaging a triple-double in the regular season. In the playoffs, this is simply a no-no. The Thunder can't rely on those easy fast break buckets that they get in the regular season, because now everyone is chasing everybody down, because every game, every possession matters that much. No more can you rely on Westbrook because, as said, teams can scheme to counter Westbrook. And if Westbrook is locked down or even slowed down, the whole team is slowed down. The thing is, Westbrook doesn't have to do everything. If and only if Victor Oladipo steps up. Because the thing about Oladipo is he can create his own shot. In fact, he was Orlando's best scorer when he was there. Now in OKC, he's been struggling to find his shot. I'm not sure if it's because of Westbrook handling the ball almost every possession and Oladipo not getting enough touches to create his own shot. But even if that's the case, I think Oladipo can still be a better off-ball player, finding openings for Russ to find him for a jumper or an easy layup. Because if Russ can get the help that he needs from Oladipo, I think the Thunder can upset the Houston Rockets. Kyle Lowry. Okay, no surprises here. Kyle Lowry simply needs to step it up in the playoffs. The Raptors have been so successful because of the combination of their backcourt and Kyle's ability to find the open man, as he's averaged around 7 assists the past couple years. And every time the playoffs come, Kyle always plays worse than his regular self. Now this year, I'm not sure if it's because of his injury, but this has been a repeating pattern for the past 3 to 4 years. And now that Toronto has their best team, maybe in franchise history, they need Kyle Lowry to bring all that talent together. And DeRozan needs his help. He can't do this all by himself. But with Lowry playing his normal self, I really could see them giving the Cavs a solid 7 games. I know, I did say 5 on Lowe's video in our collab, but I did consider how Lowry plays in the playoffs. And the fact that I believe this is the series that Cleveland just turns it on to another level where no one can touch them. But if Lowry keeps on playing like this, they might not even meet the Cavs in the second round to witness that. LaMarcus Aldridge. LaMarcus Aldridge may be the difference maker for the Spurs. He might be the difference between them getting blown out by the Warriors or actually beating them. Because we all expect the Spurs to face the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals, and when that comes, if LaMarcus does not step up, it will basically be Kawhi and a bunch of veterans versus 4 all-NBA teamers. And as much of a good defender Kawhi is, he can only defend one player at a time and do so much on offense. He needs help from LA. LaMarcus cannot be guarded when he's on fire. Who's gonna guard LA from the Warriors? Draymond Green? Kevin Durant? JaVale McGee? LaMarcus is either too big or too skilled for those guys. But if he beats himself and doesn't take advantage of that matchup, then he just becomes a guy that the Warriors don't really have to worry about. Because what LA does is sets the tempo of the game. An on-fire LA slows the game down and turns it into a half-court game, the Spurs' forte. But if he just keeps on missing, the Warriors can easily just go on a fast break off of long rebounds from those missed mid-range J's that he always likes to shoot, and nobody is better in the transition than the Warriors. He truly is the X factor for the Spurs. Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin, man. The question is, when has he stepped up? If Chris Paul ends his career with the Clippers without at least a conference finals appearance, I'm blaming it on Blake. Blake is supposed to be the Clippers' second superstar, the guy that would feed off of CP3 and help take the load off of him. But 6 years later, since Chris Paul's arrival, the Clippers still go as CP3 goes. By this point, that guy should be Blake, right? He is the #1 overall pick of his draft. He was supposed to be the next superstar of the league, but he's either been injured doing dumb stuff or simply chokes in big moments. These playoffs for the Clippers are not about Chris Paul anymore, because Chris Paul has done everything possible, everything in his ability to carry this team. Hell, DeAndre even has improved as much as he can to the point where he was an All-NBA first team center last year. They're just waiting on Blake to finally take that leap and take control of this team, but it hasn't happened yet. And if he doesn't, the Lob City era of the Clippers will end with them never even getting past the second round.